Thanks for helping out today. I really appreciate it. Okay, we're doing 6 poses. The first pose we're doing is Paragritta Trikonasana, which is rotated triangle. Okay, so you step off your mats, but come right to the center to watch. Okay, I'm going to turn my back to begin. So come to here. Now, press into the back heel. Press into the front big toe mound so the legs are straight and firm. Draw the trunk upright and spread the arms to open the chest. You're going to keep these as you bend forward and rotate. And spread the arms apart to open the chest. The lower ribs roll forward, the back ribs roll back as you rotate. Now, if you can't reach the floor with your hand, you have a block here. You can also go to the inside of the foot. Right? So just come out, pin the back heel to the ground, reach out, and spin away. Okay? Paragritta Trikonasana. So stand facing me in Tadasana. Good. Now step your feet generously apart. Turn your left foot in, roll your right leg out, and then spin to face this wall. Good. Okay, now pin the back heel to the ground, push into the big toe mound of the front leg to firm the legs and make them stable. Good. Draw your chest upright, spread your arms to open your chest. Now bend forward and rotate. Take your left arm and place it just outside your foot. Use the block if you don't reach. Good. Now go ahead and use the block even on the inside of the foot. Now, press your arms apart to open the chest toward the mirror. Take the lower ribs and rotate them toward me. Take the top ribs and rotate them behind and reach the top arm up. Good. To come out, reach forward, press into the back heel, and spin back toward the painting. Now, I'm going to go a little bit close. Could you just put your mat just a little bit so Diane has a little bit more room? John, I apologize. I've done the same with you. If you could scoot your mat just a little bit so you have just a little bit more room. Okay, here we go to the other side. Great, so step your feet generously apart. Turn your right foot in, roll your left leg out. Now spin to face the window wall. Now really pin the back heel to the ground. Diane, you can move that back heel a little further back. That's right. Push the back heel down, push into the big toe mound to straighten the legs. Draw your trunk upright, open your arms to spread your chest. Now keeping your chest this open, your trunk this upright, bend forward at the trunk. Take your right hand to the block or to the floor. Diane, other hand. That's right. Good. Good. Sorry. Now press the arms apart. Chest faces toward the mirror. So Diane, take your left hip and move it toward me. Suck your right hip back. That's right. Your left hip goes back, your right hip forward. Better. Good. Now spread your arms apart and roll your ribs. Good run. John, that was good. I think next time you can go to one lower. Now to come out, pin the back heel to the ground, bring the right hand forward, and spin back toward the painting. Good. Step out. Okay. Take a look. We're going to do it again. And may I use your mat? I'm going to use this now. So we're going to do it again with this adjustment. Okay. So I'm going to have you take your hands to the waist. And from here, reach the arm up. So from outer hip to outer arm, use that action to draw your trunk upright as high as possible so that your trunk is fully extended. And that way you keep it fully extended as you come into Trikonasana. The top hand is on your waist. So that arm rolls out, the shoulder rolls out, the elbow rolls out, so you can get the twisting action before the arm comes up. Okay? So with that variation, let's see if it helps. Step your feet apart. You turn your left foot in, roll your right leg out, spin to face the wall and take your hands to your waist. Now, right here, pull the mat apart with your feet and use that action to square your hips and trunk to the front. So your right hip goes back, your left hip pulls forward, that's better, Diane. Good, now roll your upper arm, goes back and open your chest. Take your left hand to the ceiling. Now extend the trunk up from outer hip, right up the left arm. Reach high, you can even look up, take your chest and open it to the ceiling so your trunk is fully extended. Good, now keeping the trunk this extended, look forward, bend forward. Now reach, pin the back heel, reach. Emma, come forward, forward, forward with your trunk, forward with your trunk. Reach out. Then take your hand down to the block. Then take the hand down to the block. Good. Now take your right elbow and roll it back. Roll the shoulder blade into the ribs and open the chest by rolling that back. Better, Diane. Keep working your legs so your left hip comes forward and your right hip back. Better. Roll the top arm back. Roll the top arm back to twist your chest this way. Straighten your legs in, straighten the front leg. Good, now roll that back, look toward me. One more time, roll the upper arm bones back, take your lower ribs toward me, then take the hand up. Straight legs, Emma. To come out in the back heel, reach the front arm forward and spin back to the front. Keep your legs apart, let's go to the other side. Move the block if you need to. Good. Turn your left leg in, roll your right leg out, spin to face the window and take your hands to the waist. Use the action of your legs here so to stabilize your pose and to square your trunk toward the windows. So pull the mat apart with your feet. Press into the big toe down of the front foot, press into the back heel. Now draw the trunk upright, roll the upper arm bones over the chest. Good, now take the right arm up. Reach the right arm up. Draw the trunk upright, spread the chest. Now keeping the trunk this long, bend it forward over your straight legs. Straight and really straight. Come forward as much as possible. So press to your legs, lengthen. Press to your legs, reach forward. Then take your right hand down. Take your left hand to your waist. Press down with your right hand and roll your left elbow back behind. That's right, to open your chest toward the mirror. One more time. Press down with your right hand, roll your top elbow and arm back, roll the shoulder blade into the ribs so your chest twists to face me. Better. Now take your right arm, left arm up to the ceiling. Good. Now to come out, press into the back heel, reach forward with your right arm and spin to the front. Step back. Okay, the next asana is Parsvottanasana, or extended flying pose. So come again to the center and take a look. There are 3 different arm positions in this, so come right here if you would. The first arm position option would be Namaskar, which is palms together, hands up the back. It's not available to me, so I'll go to the second option, which is elbow to elbow. If that's not available, then it's wrist to hand. Okay? So once you choose your option, mine will be elbow to elbow. And step your feet apart. This, just like rotated triangle, you're going to spin to the front leg. Engage the legs to make them firm. And then draw the trunk upright, roll your upper arm bones out, spread the chest so the trunk stays lengthened and the chest open. And then keeping those actions, bend forward at the hips, draw the shoulder blades in, and with an exhale, take the chin toward the shin. To come out, press into the legs. Okay. So choose your arm option. You can, Namaskarasana or Namaskara. Otherwise, elbow to elbow. Good. And Emma, you can go wrist. I know you haven't done this with me before. If you want to go, good, that looks good. That's fine. If you do that, looks good. Okay. All right. Hop your feet generously apart. Turn your left foot in. Roll your right leg out, and spin to face this wall, the windowless wall. Now, pin the back heel to the ground. Press into the big toe mound. Press it forward and away to firm your legs. You square your trunk to the front. Now draw your trunk upright. Roll your upper arm bones back to spread your chest more. Get those legs firm. Take the chest as if you're going to touch the ceiling with the sternum. Okay, now keeping that, bend forward at the hip. Draw your trunk forward. Keep the trunk long. Keep the front of the trunk long. Keep extending. Keep extending. Keep the arms rolled back. And then with an exhale, complete the forward bend and take the chin toward the shin. Let your head go, Eileen. That's good enough. Good. Now as you come out, press into the back heel. Look forward. Come up with a straight back. Turn yourself back to the front. Now change your arm position. If you found elbows, line the other way. Good. Now turn your right foot in. Pull your left leg out. Spin to face the window. Now press into the legs like we've been doing to square your trunk to the front. Draw your trunk upright, open the chest, roll the upper arm bones to spread the chest. Now keeping the trunk upright, bend forward, right at the hip. Lengthen your sternum forward, lengthen your trunk forward. Try not to look down, look out, so your sternum moves forward. Good, now with an exhale, go ahead and complete the forward bend. Roll your left hip back, your right hip forward, better. Now, keep legs firm, take your head down. Come out, press into the back heel, lengthen forward. And the straight legs come up, turn back to the front. Okay, come forward. We're going to do an alteration here to try to get the hips more square and the legs more stable. So, when we first turn, what I'd like you to do is pick up the back heel. Just pick it up with a straight leg. Then roll the heel back. And then go to the inner thigh and reach from the inner thigh back to the heel. Okay? So with that action, see if that allows you to square your trunk to the front leg. Then the forward bend continues the same way. Okay? So let's try that. So stand in Tadasana. Good. Choose your arm position. And if your arm's fatigued, you choose a different one. But whatever it is, roll the upper arm bones back, open the chest, take the upper arm bones back. Now go to bound elbows. Now take the upper arms and roll them back so the chest opens more. Good. Now step your feet apart. Turn the left foot in, roll the right leg out, and spin to face the wall. Good. Now here, everybody pick up the back heel. Roll it out slightly, then go to the inner left thigh. And from the inner left thigh, reach through the back heel and replace it on the ground. Now pin it on the ground and push in the front foot, push down and out the front foot, and square your hips. That means your left hip comes forward better, your right hip comes back, so your pelvis, your trunk, your shoulders square to the front. Good. Now roll the upper arm bones back, roll them out and spread the chest in. So elbows back, upper arm bones back. Good. Now with an exhale, come forward at the hips, lengthen forward. Try not to look down, look up. Take the shoulder blades and suck them into your back so your upper back becomes as if it were hollow. And then with an exhale, complete the forward bend, take your chin to your shin. Now press into the back heel, come up with a straight back, turn your toes back to the front. Let's try again. I'm going to go a little wider stance this time, okay? I didn't get that a little too wide. Okay? Good. So roll your upper arm bones back, spread your feet apart, take your feet apart. Turn your right foot in, roll your left leg out, spin to face the windows. Now everybody, lift up the back heel, spin the back heel away, and then go to the inner thigh and move from the inner thigh to the back heel to pin it back on the ground. All right, now keep it pinned, straighten that leg, take that hip forward, press into your big toe out of your front foot, and take that left hip back so your trunk becomes square to the front. Good, now roll your upper arm bones back, spread your chest, draw your trunk upright. Now keeping those actions, and your legs got to stay absolutely firm here. Come forward at the hips, lengthen your trunk forward. Keep the front thigh active so the front thigh stabilizes. Lengthen forward, take your sternum forward. Good. Take your upper back and try to hollow it out and lengthen it forward. Come on, if you can come. You can engage your legs. Come on. And everybody, with an exhale, take your shin to your chin. Straighten your legs really firmly. Good. Now, lengthen toward me. Lengthen toward me. Lengthen more. Come on, you can bend some more. Bend some more. And then take your head on down toward your shin. Now, press into the back heel. Straighten your back. Come up and turn. Turn to the front. Good. Okay. Take your short end of your mat to the wall. And you can be one right next to each other. So you don't need any room. You won't need any blocks. And you won't need any blankets. Let's see. Emmett, you're not going to go up in headstand. So if you would shake places with John, so I know right where you are. So John, come here. And are you going to headstand today? Yeah, okay, great. And keep it right there. If you have a thin mat, fold it in quarters. If you have a yoga room mat, a studio mat that's thick, fold it in half. And take the folded edge right to the wall. Okay, now come to the side. We're going to do Shirshasana, Salamba Shirshasana, supported headstand. So just work your abdomen from either side. Turn the mat so that the folded edge rather than the curl edge is on the mat, because otherwise it's stable. This is headstand. Okay? So come where you can see me to the side. So in headstand, the finger positions are deeply intertwined. Then take your elbows and place them under your shoulders. Lengthen the forearms toward the wall. Place your interlaced hands on the floor, and then cup your wrists slightly. The crown of the head goes into cup wrists. Now, you're going to press your forearms down and move them toward the wall to draw your shoulder blades up like this. Straighten your legs and walk in, and continue to press the forearms to raise the upper back away from the wall. And maintain that. Just hop into Shirshasana. Now step out into the middle of the room and look at it from the front. So press into the upper arm bones and draw the shoulder blades up. I'm going to move my tailbone to the heels and the heels up for Shirshasana. And to come down, bend both legs and curl down, and then we'll rest. And now we'll give you Virasana. Okay? So what about Shirshasana headstand? Okay, so kneel by your mat. Interlace your fingers. Actually, put both of your elbows down, and you put them right under your shoulders. And then lay your forearms toward the wall and lengthen them down so that when you interlace your fingers, you want to be about 1.5 inches. Or maybe 2 inches from the wall, since we're bending our legs. You want to be about 2 inches from the wall. Okay? And then you'll do all the actions except you will not kick up. So John, come a little further from the wall. I then come a little further from the wall. Just a little bit. Maybe a little further from the wall. Go down. Great. Now wing your wrists out slightly so your hands are cupped. Put the crown of your head down. Good. Now you're going to press your forearms from elbow to wrist down into the mat. Never bring your elbows closer together. And you're going to slide as if you're going to slide your elbow toward the wall. So the forearm presses down and presses toward the wall. Use that action to draw your shoulder blades up your back, straighten your legs, and walk in. Now repress the forearms. Good enough. Repress the forearms. Press them down and toward the wall. Draw the upper back away from the wall. Walk in a little bit further. Everybody except Emma. Keep those actions as you bend your right leg. And then with a little hop, just come to the wall with both feet. Bend your knees. Bend your knees. Pause there. Good. Okay. Now, forearms, Emma, you okay? You keep working on the actions that I described. Now, press the forearms down and push them toward the wall to draw your upper arm bones away and stretch your legs right up the wall, heel to heel. Draw the tailbone toward the heels and draw the heels toward the ceiling. Done, it looks good, but you can bring your heels to the wall. Eileen, bring your elbows closer together. That's right. Just raise through your heels to as much as possible, vigorously through the legs to extend your trunk upright. A little bit further, a little bit closer. Right there. Now press down on those forearms, straight down to raise up. Good. Eileen and Diane, both of you press down and then raise your chin slightly toward your chest. No, the other way. Toward your chest. That's the way you're going. Good. Better. Now, to come down, bend both legs. Repress into the upper arm bones and curl down. Great. Now come down and straighten your knees. Sit back on your heels. Reach your hands forward. Okay. For the next asana, we'll need 2 chairs and your mat. So each of you need 2 chairs and 1 mat. Yeah, we're going to stay right near the wall. So pull yourself through and lay down on this seat back. Then you can lift your pelvis up to take the skin of the buttocks and the tailbone toward the knees and to rotate the inner thighs. So it looks like this, and that stabilizes and supports the low back. And then keeping that action, you're going to press yourself back toward the center of the room and coil over the seat back to open the chest. Then we're going to step the legs up into the chair, keeping the tailbone action, keeping the inner thigh action. And then the hands on the seat back are going to pull down to coil the chest open. So to come out, step your legs out, put your elbows on the seat, and then press the elbows down to come up. Chest first. And then pause, recover, and we'll go from there. So everybody sit in your chair. And wait for me. Face the wall. These chairs are just big enough for you, John. Good. Okay, now scoot yourself through. Can you get through there, John? Yeah. Scoot yourself through so you're lay back on the seat so your hips are off the chair. Good. Now pick up your pelvis, roll your tailbone and buttock bones toward the knee, and then internally rotate the thigh a little bit more, John. So the inner heels come down. Good. Now keep that action and press yourself back toward the center of the room and coil your chest over that seat back. So take the skin of the upper arms and the skin of the shoulders and draw it out and down so that the collarbones spread. A little bit more, Emma, a little bit more, Eileen. Let the shoulders go. Right. A little bit more, LaDonna. Come off. Keep your hands on the chair. but roll a little bit further. Don, looks good. Ronnie, come a little further off. Everybody take your upper arm bones and out and down. Okay? I think you may get a little too far. Now, one by one, step your feet up on the chair in front of you. Lengthen your legs out. Keep the tailbone moving toward your heel. Now, use the chair back and pull your elbows down. I didn't take your elbows off the chair. Right, and down. Move your hands down a little bit. Now, really pull against the chair with your hands. Draw the elbows down and use that action to traction your chest open. Maybe you can come a little further off the chair and coil around. That's right. Spread your collarbones. Good, John. Now, to come out, step your feet up one at a time. Release your hands and put your elbows on the seat back. And then press your elbows down and come up chest first as much as possible. This is hard for you to the chair. Diane, use your chair for a moment. Okay, stay where you are, but I'd like you to see me, so I'm going to use Diane's chair. We're going to do it again with a variation to try to get a little bit more open. Okay, so all of the actions are going to be the same. Roll that in, coil back over the seat, step my legs up. But this time, I'm going to reach under the front legs of the chair, grab the back legs of the chair. Okay. Then the actions are the same, but I can use the pull against the back legs to use the seat edge to leverage my chest open and broad toward the center of the room. Okay? Coming out, it's the same way. Okay? So, thank you. Okay, so scoot yourself through. Pick up your tailbone, move it toward your heels. Internally rotate the thighs. Do that again, the Donna, so you can move a little way since your legs are long. Really get that tailbone action. All right, then push yourself out toward the center of the room. Coil over that seat edge. We're using the edge of the seat as a traction device to open the chest. Put your feet one at a time up on the chair. Tailbone toward the heels, internal thighs internally rotated so legs remain active. Good. Now take your hands one at a time underneath and in between the seats of the legs of the chair. Grab the back legs. Can you do that? Go underneath. Right? At one time. That's right. Grab the back legs. Now pull against the back legs of the chair and leverage your chest open. So spread out wide with Donna as opposed to just over. All right, so collarbone spread wide. Bring the shoulder blades into the back so the chest spreads. Yeah, that's better. Now bend up one leg at a time. Release your hands. Work your hands out slowly. Take the chair back. Put the elbows on the seat. Press into the elbows. Come up chest first. Now sit for a moment and pause to regain your equilibrium. Okay, and come out one leg at a time. And we have your mats back up to the center. And if you would face them this way, maybe 2 rows and maybe 1 facing this way. We need a blanket and a block. Good. If I get one more person here, when the Ronnie group come here, so there will be 3, 3, and 1. John, why don't you come up here? Or someone come up here. Setup is like this. Donna, could you come a little closer to press just a little bit this way. So this is your setup. Okay, and if you would come right here where Donnie is and where Eileen is to watch the next asana we're doing is Marichyasana 3, seated twist. Marichi in a sage India. So it begins in Dandasana. So we're going to bend up one leg, take the heel toward the buttocks and snug the shin up against the thigh. And then the trunk reaches up, so we're going to extend the trunk as high as possible and then turn it and catch the turn with the elbow. So the trunk extends up, turns and catch. And we're going to do that a couple of times. So it's turn and catch, turn and catch, turn and catch. And I'm going to straighten the front leg, take the sitting bones to the floor, and pull the elbow against the knee. Resist the knee against the elbow, and use that action to twist. Now, I have short arms, so I'm using a block. You may not need it. You can go to a blanket or to the, if you have long arms, to the knife. So Marichyasana 3. We'll go to both directions. So sit in Tadasana. Good. Step up your right leg. I'm sorry, your left leg. We'll go the other side first. Snug the heel back. Great. Now reach your trunk up. Take your right hand up to the air. Reach it up. Twist the trunk this way and catch the twist by catching it with your right elbow on the knee. Do it once or twice. So extend the trunk, twist and catch. Emma, do it again, and when you've done it several times, great, now straighten the front leg. What you're trying to do is work that shoulder blade in so the upper arm comes as deep as possible on the thigh. Good. Now, pull back with your right elbow, pull it against the thigh, resist the knee against that elbow to twist your trunk toward me. So look up, don't look down. And with an inhale, and then with an exhale twist, take your right ribs around toward me, roll your left ribs toward John. Okay. Try not to turn your, this time John, remember to turn the arm in, it does eventually. Okay, but resist, pull back with your elbow. And then with an exhale, turn to the other side, and we'll go to the other side. Good, bend up the left leg, snug the shin to the thigh. Good, this time take your left arm up, reach the trunk way up, turn it, and tuck your elbow behind the knee to catch that twist. Try it once or twice. Twist the ribs, catch the twist. Twist the ribs, catch the twist. Once you've done that, good. Now, straighten the front leg. Take the sitting bones, firmly attach them to what you're sitting on, right, to the blanket. Good. Now, take the left elbow and push back against the knee. Resist the knee against the elbow and twist toward me. Inhale, take your arm to the, I think to the block, John. I think it would help. Good. Come, bring your trunk, snug it right up against the thigh. You can actually move that way. That's right. So, pull back with your elbow. Resist with your knee and twist. Inhale, look up. Take your right ribs toward me, and exhale, your left ribs are around toward the windows. Look toward me. One more time, inhale. Exhale, twist. Good. Okay, then twist back to the front. All right, take a quick look. Actually, I'm going to go right to our last asana. Okay, so we're not going to do a repeat on this. But what I'd like to do is take the chairs and move them to the side because we're coming to this wall for our starting asana. So, of course, this asana, this pose, will need 4 blankets and a bolster. So Emma has 2 blankets, so she needs 2 blankets. So I've set Emma up here in our setup. So it's 4 blankets, like Sarvangasana, and then a bolster near the wall. Okay. So I think we can all fit it on the wall. Okay, all right, take your mat first. Good. You're going to take your blankets all the way to the front edge so your neck skin doesn't get caught on the mat. Good? Good. Great. Okay, let's take a look at the last asana we're doing, the last pose. Watch from the side. This is Sarvangasana Setu Bandha. Sarvangasana shoulder stand. Setu Bandha is bridge, so it's a bridge that comes out of shoulder stand. Okay, so we're going to come onto our setup. Put the feet on the wall as if to go into Sarvangasana. So check the distance from the top shoulder to the edge of the blankets, which is about an inch. So when you come up, your shoulders are on the blankets. So we're going to pull ourselves up, walk the shoulders in, tuck the ribs into the body, and take the shoulder blades up to come into Sarvangasana. It starts at a Sarvangasana. So roll the upper arm bones back. Take the trunk up, tailbone to the heels, heels to the ceiling. Then from Sarvangasana, the legs bend, and then keeping the trunk upright, you're going to reach the toes for the wall. Once they reach the wall, you press into the wall and draw the ribs into the back, draw the trunk higher, and roll your chest over. So walk down a little, press, extend and roll. Walk down, press, extend and roll. And we'll walk down until we reach the bolster, the floor, or your limit. Each time extending the trunk up, rolling the chest over. Then I'll ask you to walk your feet back up and roll down. Okay. Setu Bandha Sarvangasana. So, come on to your setup, as in Sarvangasana. Put your feet on the wall, check your distance, so the top shoulder is about an inch from the edge of the blanket. A little deeper. Emma, since you're tall, come out, move your setup a little, because I use it and I'm short, and you got long legs. Okay, John, it looks good, looks good. Okay, so everybody, pull your feet up, raise your pelvis up off the blankets. Now, begin to walk your shoulders underneath you for Sarvangasana. Shoulder stand. Do it very deliberately. Roll the upper arm bones back. That's pretty good. I think that's okay, Emma. Now, pull yourself up. Pull yourself up. Roll. Walk your shoulders underneath you. Walk them underneath. Take your tailbone way up. Walk these shoulders underneath you. Way underneath you. There you go. Now everybody else, take your palms to your ribs, draw your ribs into the midline, draw your shoulder blades up toward the waist, and come into Sarvangasana. Legs to the ceiling. Just one time. Good. Good. Now everybody, take your upper arm bones, roll them out and down, press them down. Follow. Good. Take your tail, draw your shoulders up toward your waist, your shoulder blades up toward your waist. Take your tailbone toward your heels. Take your heels toward the ceiling. Now, take your feet hip width apart, so spread and slide. And now keep this upward action of the trunk. Keep the hands moving into the spine. Right? Emma, way up with your hands. There you go. As you bend your knees. Keep your knees up as much as possible. Keep your pelvis toward the center of the room and reach your toes toward the wall. Reach them out. Emma, for you, stay in Sarvangasana. Okay? Stay in Sarvangasana. There you go. Got it? Okay, we got 1 minute left. Now everybody, use the toes to pull down and take your knees up. Take the pelvis up, tailbone up, the trunk up and lift the ribs into the body. Roll your chest out to the center of the room. Good. Walk your toes down. Relift. Right? Relift. Re-extend the trunk up. Press your arms down. Use the fingers to draw the ribs up and spread the chest. One more time. Walk down. Repress. Re-extend. And roll your chest. John, bring your knees slightly together toward each other. Good, Diane, knees slightly together. Good. Madonna, take your tailbone way up. That's right. Up, more. Good. Everybody walk your feet up to the wall. And then roll down. And come down. Rest on the balls.